Maybe we should try that again. I'm sorry. I had like a lot of coffee. Butter knife. I don't know. Maybe not a butter knife. That'd be hilarious. Hello my spoonies, welcome back to my channel. I am sorry that this video is going up a day late. As I said on my Insta stories, I got a new camera, used the camera to shoot the video, realized that as sweet as it was, right, because it was a birthday present, and they were trying to solve, the person who got it for me was trying to solve a problem that I had, which was that my Canon T3, which is a phenomenal camera, does not have a mic jack. And so they had gotten me a kind of mid-range camera that did have a mic jack, but the video I shot had all kinds of audio issues that I just could not fix. And so I'm having to reshoot. I've gone back to my old camera. The birthday present is going back. I'm probably going to use the money to buy makeup. Not that I'm sad about that. So here we are. But as you can see, I did get new lights. So the lighting in here is hopefully a little bit better. I also got a new external mic that I'm running through my recording software. So hopefully quality has gone up. Hooray for that. Okay, so a minute into my rambling. Welcome to my channel. If you've not already done so, I would really appreciate it if you would take a moment, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell. I am having a contest for the first 100 subscribers. When we hit 100, I'm going to do a random drawing and give away a box of Spoonie certified makeup and skincare items. All you have to do is be subscribed to my channel and leave a comment in the comment box down below. I'm also doing a birthday giveaway that's going to be up for about another week. It might actually go for 3 weeks, only because the order that the gift is coming in still has not shipped, which they warned me, right? They were very, Sugar Pill was great. They sent me an email and said, we're so very sorry, but we're backed way up. I had thought 2 weeks was enough of a lead time, but who knows? I'm going to leave it up until the lipstick gets here. So if you want information on my birthday giveaway, I'm going to put a link in the description box down below to that particular video. It probably also popped up here. And then there's also information about it on my socials, which are all popping up down below as well. Okay, now that that is out of the way at like 2 minutes and so many seconds, let's actually start the video. How about that? How about we start the video? So today we're going to be talking a little bit about primers. This is a video that I've had several requests to do. People have a lot of questions about primers. Why would you want to wear a primer? Do you really need a primer? What kind of primer should you wear? I have 4 different primers that I use on occasion. So I am going to demo each of them and talk about them. And then I'm going to talk about the other kinds of primers that are out there that I don't use and the reason why I don't use them. I thought about going out and picking up a couple, but it just seemed wasteful because I know I'm not gonna use them, and I don't want to just like buy the product and then right. But I do have recommendations for some of the other kinds that I don't wear. So primers tend to fall into a couple of different categories. The first is skin concerns. So things like, do you have oily skin? Do you have dry skin, right? So they're hydrating or they're mattifying. As you can probably guess, if you've watched any of my other videos, I avoid mattifying products. They tend to be very aging and they don't really work on my skin. I prefer a more radiant, dewy look. That's just me. The second is blurring, and that's for people that have large pores normally, but there's also kind of a subcategory of blurring that has come out in like the last, I would say, like 2 years or so, and those are not just like for blurring your pores, but also fine lines and wrinkles. I used to use the Tarte, I think it's their pore filling primer. I'll find a picture of the product and cut it in. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it did a great job. Like any place, and I don't have like huge pores, but any place that my pores were exaggerated, it did a phenomenal job of blurring them out. What it did not do was a great job with my fine lines and wrinkles. It really kind of settled into my fine lines and wrinkles and didn't fill them over, if that makes sense. And I think there's just something about the formulation. So there's blurring, right? And then there's kind of another category of blurring that's like wrinkle blurring. So there's sort of that. You have illuminating primers, right? Which are primers that have some kind of like shimmer in them. A lot of the pore blurring primers do have kind of like a brightening effect added into them. Not all of them, a lot of them. And then last but not least, you've got color correcting primers, which these are primers that are a very distinctive color designed to address any kind of skin discoloration on your face. So for example, if you have rosacea and you have very, very red skin, but you also don't want to wear a super heavy foundation to cover that up, you can wear a green primer, and that's going to cancel out the red since they're contrasting colors. And you can put a lighter primer on top, and it will then cancel out the redness, right? And then your skin will look just as you wish it would. I don't want to say normal because I hate that word, right? Like, because normal for me is like punched in the eyes, dark circles, right? Normal is a terrible word. Normal, this is one of my favorite quotes. Normal is an illusion. What's normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. You guys know who said that? If you know who said that, leave it in the comment box down below. One of my personal heroes said that. Okay, so let's get to talking about primers. What I'm going to do today, because I have 4 primers that I use regularly, I'm going to actually like split them and do one on one side, one on the other. I will put foundation on so that you can actually see it with the foundation on, and then I will take all that off and we will do the next set. Okay, so I am going to start off with 2 different like blurring primers. The first one is this one by Etude House, and I will cut a better picture of this in. It's called the Face Blur. This is a Korean product. It has 33 SPF PA++, which I like about it. You guys know I like products with SPF. It is not unusual for me to, I mean, I always wear sunscreen, and then if I'm wearing a primer, there's sunscreen in the primer, and then I will put on my foundation or my BB cream that also has sunscreen in it. I am a giant walking sunscreen shield. But this is how I got to be in my 40s and not quite look like I'm in my 40s. Okay, so this is a smoothing, pore hiding, and tone-up primer. So it's supposed to do 3 things. So theoretically, it's supposed to smooth out any fine lines and wrinkles. I'm gonna be real honest, it does not do that. It's great with the pores, and it's pretty decent with the tone up. Like, it is a little brightening. It's gonna leave you with more of a shimmer finish than not. Okay, I'm gonna get a close-up of this, 1 second. Okay, so there it is. So it's like a little whitey pink color. You're going to find that color is very, very common in a lot of primers. And this tends to wig people out whose skin tone is not white. I know I look like a crazy person. I just kind of like dab this on randomly. I'm going to wet this really quick. The thing is that these are designed to be so transparent. When they really go on and they dry down, it's not going to leave you with like a chalky white cast. Really, what you're seeing is, especially like in this product, because it's slightly brightening, you're seeing the light reflecting particles that are in this that help to fool the eye, right, into believing that the skin is a slightly different texture. It's brighter, the pores are more filled in, right? And the principle behind this is that You put this on first, it fills in the pores, and then when you put your foundation on, there's no place for the foundation to settle, right? Because there's already something blocking the way. I'm gonna bring you in close for just like a split second so that you can see the difference between the non-primed and the primed side of my face. Here we go. Okay. Primer side. And I'm gonna probably in editing cut in real close. You know, you'll be like, ew, way too close to your skin. Non-primed. So you can see, I mean, I can kind of see, kind of glancing over in the monitor. This side looks a lot duller, and this side looks a lot brighter. So it does, like, it kind of tones up, it illuminates the skin a little bit. It's not as brightening as like a flat out highlighter. So this is also kind of a nice product to put on if you want more of a glow, but you're not wanting to like mess with putting on like a heavy highlighter. Okay, second one is this one by L'Oreal, and I will cut a picture of it. And this is called the Magic Perfecting Base. This one's been around for about 1.5 to 2 years. So you can kind of see, hopefully, it's a little bit like, it looks a little bit like lip balm, I think is the closest comparison I can make. A lot of people seem to feel that this is a dupe for the Tarte product that I was talking about earlier. I don't think so. And this is my take on it. They are very similar in consistency, but I find that how they work is incredibly different. So if you're looking for like, because the Tarte one is very pore filling. So if you're looking for a pore filling product, the Tarte one or like this one, that's going to be your better bet. If you are looking for something to disguise your fine lines and wrinkles, however, the L'Oreal one is going to be a better bet. So when I wear this one, I'm less apt to put it all over my face. And it kind of comes out, I mean, it's like lip balm, right? Now, there are some downsides to this product. Number one, it has no SPF, so that's no good. Number two, if you use too much of it, it will pill, especially when you're putting your foundation on. Now I am going to go ahead and just put it all over my face since I did the same with the other side. But to be completely frank, ever since I did this the first time I tried it, right? I was like, oh, we're going to put it everywhere, right? Now, this product also says it's mattifying. It's really not. So one of the things that I do like about this product, even though the pilling is a problem, is whatever is in it, it must have some kind of like, not only is it a filler, but it has some kind of like light reflecting stuff in it, which clearly, because it's that pink color again. Because I have a little bit of like discoloration right here, and when I put this on it, it fades quite a bit. Not only that, but it does a much better job of hiding my fine lines and wrinkles. I have fine lines right here. They're getting better. I'm testing a product and it does seem to really be addressing it. Okay, so this is the face blurred side, and I will do a close-up here of my fine lines. This is the L'Oreal side, which is better for wrinkles, and I will do a close-up of the fine lines. The L'Oreal really does a phenomenal job of disguising the wrinkles. Okay, so let's put some foundation on. I am going to be using my trusty Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream. If you have not seen it, I will link up above the video I did of me trying out the IT Cosmetics CC cream. Yeah. So this side, little bit more of a glow, right? This side, not as much. Okay, this side, I'm gonna zoom you in real close. on my fine lines right here versus this side, the BB cream has not really settled down into the side with the L'Oreal. So you can see the L'Oreal does in fact actually work. It does a phenomenal job of kind of disguising all that. Just as a sum up about the L'Oreal really quickly, I do want to add, I hardly ever use this as a primer. I'm going to be 100% honest. I do use this though. And I am going to actually use this in the next video that I am shooting because I have discovered another use for this product. The pilling problem, even though I've kind of figured out the right ratio for putting foundation on, the pilling problem just got to be too much for me. So stay tuned for that video because this product is a phenomenal product. I just don't know that it's a product I would use as a primer necessarily. That's just my take on it. Okay, so the next kind of primer I'm going to talk about is a color correcting primer. And the one that I really like is, it's another Korean one. I will cut a picture of this in. It's by The Face Shop, and it's in lavender. Now they make these in a variety of colors. I use purple because I tend to get kind of sallow looking from all of the medications I'm on for my illness. And purple, being the contrasting color to yellow, really cancels out all that sallowness, as you will see in a minute. This also has SPF 30 PA++, which is pretty common. Korean products all tend to have sunscreen in them. So it's sort of white, but you can see the purple in it. All it's done is remove the yellow from my face. That's it. The skin on this side of my face is very clearly brighter, whiter looking. If you are a person of color, do not let this dissuade you. What is in fact happening is it's a color theory thing. There is a microparticles of purple in this that's shifting the light. So when the light goes through this, the purple's canceling out the yellow, and it's bringing through my actual natural skin tone to the forefront, right? So what you're seeing is what my skin actually would look like if it wasn't discolored from my illness. So the same is true of people of color, right? This is not going to make you look white, right? It's also not going to leave a white cast on your skin. And even if you do a very heavy application and then you put foundation on top of it, you're not going to see this. What you will see though is that your canvas is a lot, like your starting canvas that your foundation goes on is in fact very close to what your natural skin color is. Okay, so this is the side with the purple, and this is the side without. The yellow being canceled out makes my skin look a lot brighter, right? That sallowness really dulls down my skin. Okay, one sec. So the last one that I'm going to talk about today, and this one is my favorite. If I had to pick one out of all of these to use for the rest of my life, it would be this one. And this is the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. Now, I know that this is like kind of a cult favorite, and that there was a lot made out of the fact that e.l.f.'s Pore Putty Primer, it's kind of hard to say, was a dupe for this. I cannot speak to that. I actually picked up the Pore Putty Primer to try. I was going to do like a review video. I actually thought I was going to do like a side-by-side thing. But I patch tested it, which, you know, spoonies, you should always patch test. And I had an allergic reaction to it. I am not saying this to dissuade you from getting the e.l.f. primer, from trying the e.l.f. primer. I think it's a very good product. Just having watched other people's reviews of it, comparing it to the Tatcha, I think it's a close dupe. I don't think it is an identical dupe, but I think it's very close. But I will encourage you, number one, buy it from a place that you can take it back. And number two, please, please, please patch test it. I mean, that's true for pretty much any product that you use. All right, so the Tatcha Luminous Silk Cream, which this is a little bit different from everything else. While it does not have SPF in it, which I don't like, but that's okay. It's supposed to be smoothing and priming, but it's also got a lot of skincare ingredients in it. And it does help my makeup last, right? I mean, all of these do a decent job of helping my makeup last, but I really just think the Tatcha does a good job, and it provides such a smooth surface. That's really what it comes down to. Out of all of these, when I put this on my skin, just the feel of my skin, it's like it's been completely smoothed out, which means that the foundation is just gonna glide, it just glides on, right? Now, I know this product is a little expensive. The travel size is like $21, I think. You can get it at Sephora, or you can buy it from Tatcha directly on their website. I will say, this is a huge shout out to Tatcha for this. They recently kind of came out with travel size products for a lot of their things, and they're all right around the $20 mark. It means that people who cannot ordinarily afford it might be able to afford it, you know, because 20 versus 50, that's a big difference. So this is a straight up putty. This is what it looks like. And the original product comes with this, like, the full size comes with this little gold disc. I lost mine a long time ago. I don't know what I did with it. And Tatcha has said that they provide that so that in the very beginning you understand how much you need, because people tend to take more than they need because it doesn't really take that much product. But that after that you could like use your fingers or a sponge or whatever. And I've tried using my fingers, I've tried using my sponge, and I find still that I prefer scraping out. And so what I did was the Hamish cleansing balm that I talked about in my skincare routine video. All of them come with these little scoops, right? These beautiful little scoops. And I save every single one of them because they are great for scooping out moisturizers or scooping out masks or you name it, right? So I just cleaned this really, really well to get any residue product off, and I now use it with this, a very easy solution. What I like to do is just very gently, I should do this on film, very gently, without putting any pressure, run it across the top. So this is a lot, this reminds me of butter. It reminds me of picking up butter. So it's almost like it has this like whipped butter texture to it. So I just, sometimes I spread it using this, sometimes I pick it up on my finger. You really do not need that much. Like honestly, I probably picked up too much. There is something about, I think, like the visceral experience of spreading it on your skin that is so phenomenal. And my skin just feels, I have to be very careful when I put it on because it literally makes the entire canvas of my skin feel just like silk, right? And I literally just want to be like, ah, right? And I'm like rubbing my hands all over my face, which is not a good idea. All right, so I've brought you in a little bit closer. Now, what is fascinating to me is this side has the purple color correcting side on it, and this side is the Tatcha. And look straight on. See how much redder my skin looks on the color correcting side than on the Tatcha side. And I think the Tatcha side's a little more luminous as well. Like as I'm moving into the lights, like you can see the light reflecting particles in it a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna pull the camera back out. We're gonna put the foundation on. Color corrected side. The BB cream took care of the redness, right? So I don't have that issue anymore. But the Tatcha side, like when it comes to blending, literally the Tatcha cuts the blending time down by half. Like there's something about the smoothness of it. So this is the Tatcha side, and I don't know, maybe in editing I will cut a closer up shot of my skin, but literally like the foundation just, it glides on. My skin looks luminous, smooth as a baby's bottom. Honestly, you can see why I love the Tatcha. If I had to pick one out of all of them, the Tatcha would be the one that I would pick to spend the money on. I know it's a little more expensive, but I think in this case you do kind of get what you pay for, and I feel like the amount that I have to use is so much less. So let's talk about the types of primers I don't have. I don't have a mattifying primer because, like I said, I don't like matte. I also don't have a jelly primer. What a jelly primer is a primer that dries down incredibly sticky. And it's designed to really cling to your foundation and keep it in place. This is great for people that live in really hot temperatures, right, where they're going out into the heat, or people that have issues with oil making their foundation slide around on their face, like if they have oily skin. There are not that many inexpensive drugstore jelly primers. The one that I've heard the best about is the one made by Wet n Wild. I know e.l.f. has one. It's gotten real mixed reviews, so I'm kind of hesitant. I've never used it. I'm just going off of what I have heard other people say. Some people love it. Some people think it's like meh, right? Jelly primers, they tend to jump up into the much more expensive category for whatever reason. And I don't know if it's just because they're not as popular, so they've not really made their way into the drugstore or not, or if I'm just missing some drugstore brands that have jelly primers because it's not really an issue for me, so it's not something I wear. Which brings me to the last thing. Should you use a setting spray on top of a primer? Yes, you should. Really, unless you're using a jelly primer, which is designed to really stick to your foundation, most of these, while they will improve wear throughout the day, are more designed to give you changes in the canvas, right? Changes in your facial canvas. So you really do need a setting spray on top of that. So even if I'm using my beloved Tatcha, I still finish it out with my other beloved Crystal Dew setting spray, which I did a review of. I will put a link of that up above for you guys if you've not seen that video. So yes, even with a primer, you should use a setting spray. So there you go. Quick rundown of the different kinds of primers that I have. That's it for me. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope all of you are happy, healthy, and well rested, and are remembering that self-care is the most important form of care, and I will see you in the next video. Love you guys.